Now that was a big win for Manchester United. So many players missing. It was a game where United dug in, got the clean sheet, and got the result. And that's not happened often enough. There were genuinely quite a few things that we learned watching that game about Ruben Amorim, Lisandro Martinez, Aiden Heaven, and plenty more. Let me run through it all with you now. Well, I hope you had a good Christmas, because I know you had a good Boxing Day. That win against Newcastle, it felt big, all right? I think we've seen better performances in the last couple of games, but we haven't seen the results. I'd even argue that wasn't as good a performance as it was against Villa, but we got the 3 points. We got a clean sheet. Can we look forward to 2026 in a different way? Look, I'm going to run through what we learned watching that game, because I think there were quite a few things we did learn. And you can let me know. Obviously, we'll speak about Heaven, we'll speak about the defence, speak about Martinez. But first things first, we've got to speak about Ruben Amorim, and we've got to speak about the changes. You know what I quite like from Ruben in that post-match press conference yesterday? He's just like, well, look, we had a clean sheet, back four, Kobbie's injured. No more questions? See ya. I think he's probably quite bored of the repeated questions that have consistently been happening. And the main one is around the system, understandably. Okay? And what I think you saw in that game yesterday, Gary Neville was spot on. Eddie Howe was like, well, I wasn't expecting that. Ramsdale, go down. Lewis Hall, go round. Chop and change. Okay, we weren't expecting that. United caught them off guard. Now, I'm not sure if you saw this clip from Ruben Amorim in his pre-match press conference, but this is quite an important moment. I probably would call this an important moment for Ruben Amorim. Listen to what he said.
I think in the future we can change also like I was always talking, and you guys, especially you, about the system. We can play a different way to take more quality from these players, because I have the feeling that if we have to play a perfect 3-4-3, we need to spend a lot of money and we need time. So I'm starting to understand that is not going to happen. So maybe I have to adapt.
Well, there's a few things you can take from that. Number one would probably be, I'm surprised it reached this stage before these conversations were happening. But also I remember Ruben specifically saying that he didn't feel like he could completely change his system because it would undermine himself. And then he feels like he would have lost control of players. And if you look at that performance, in fact, you look at every performance really from Manchester United, I don't think you can ever really question whether or not the players are playing for the manager. It's just that in certain games, just how we've been playing has been awful. But against Bournemouth, we made changes. Now, we gave away the lead 3 times. We should have won that game. It was 4-4. Against Villa, I think we were the better team for both halves, but we came up against the Morgan Rogers in form, one of the most informed players in the Premier League, with 2 moments of magic, and we couldn't do anything. That game against Newcastle, I think overall as a collective, we've had better performances than that. But we got the result. We got the 3 points. We dug in. Ruben made changes, and Ruben has made changes in these last 3 games. I think quite a few of these are going to be enforced because of the players that are missing from AFCON. But also at the same time, I think he's using that as an opportunity to bring in some changes to the system that therefore don't completely just look like he's throwing his system out of the window, even if maybe he is. And maybe we aren't going to be playing 3 at the back, largely. Either way, people have asked for adaptability. We've seen adaptability. And it's bringing better performances. And finally, it's brought the result against Newcastle. But the result was largely down to our defence. Now, we've got to speak about all of them, really. And I'm absolutely going to be focusing on Aiden Heaven. You are looking at a player who's had to sit on the sidelines, probably frustrated that he hasn't had his opportunities this season. But a player who's now, with De Ligt and Maguire out, has started 5 consecutive Premier League games, was man of the match, and deservedly so, against Newcastle. And a player who, to quote Ruben Amorim himself, it's going to be tough to get him out of that team now. Players on form, and just are all the credit to Aiden Heaven. Remain patient, waited for his opportunity. His opportunity appeared, and he grabbed it. Even after the first game against West Ham, where that could have affected him. Taken off a half-time. Doesn't matter. Brilliant from him. Brilliant from Seny Lamond as well. It was just that, like, you might think or might say that I'm going overboard when I'm saying this, but just seeing a goalkeeper come out and claim the bloody high balls when you're under pressure in the last 6 minutes of games, like, we're not used to that as United fans. We haven't seen it in a while. Makes a big old difference. Because it just, pew, it kills the opposition, and it just gives you a lot more confidence. And to see United actually winning keeping a clean sheet. Dorgu, like, by the way, anyone else get the feeling that Dorgu just looks significantly more comfortable? I'm not even talking about just up front, but on the right-hand side. It's quite a few games, actually, I think. Probably 3 or 4 times, I think, where I've looked at Dorgu on the right going, now, it feels like the angles, it just feels like the positions he gets himself into on the right-hand side are a lot more natural to him. And I'm separating this whole conversation from defenders to just speak about Martinez because I'm so bloody happy for him that those injuries haven't finished him. Because it was a big question that we all had. Now, I'm not saying that Martinez is back, oh my God, look, he's incredible. All his injury problems and all his woes are behind him. I hope they are. But I was really concerned after all these injury problems that Martinez was going to come back and just, I suppose, look laboured, look less confident in his own body, in his own ability. Far from it, man. Martinez, the fact that we played Villa and we played Newcastle, neither of them were pressing us. I know that is an easier situation. It's not reflective of the whole Premier League. But I just thought he looked fantastic. I thought all the decisions were correct. I thought all the passes were correct. I thought he led by example, and I think we needed that. I love Martinez, man. Like, when he came into this team, we just hadn't seen a player like him in so long that he stood out for all the right reasons. Remember at the time when he came in, we were questioning whether anybody actually gave a shit about playing for United. And you can never say that about Martinez. So please stay fit, lad. Because with him in the team, we are a better footballing team. Now, somebody I want to quickly credit. I say quickly credit. Just credit Ugarte. Like, man, I've been as quick as anybody else to criticise Ugarte. But he played well against Newcastle. I think he really did. Maybe the actual overall setup helped because we were quite compact and actually just packed in the middle. Dorgu was playing quite narrow when we were out of possession. I think Cunha was tucking in as well. Made it very difficult for them to break through us, and they didn't really know what to do. I know that they had lots and lots of half chances where they probably should have done better, but United just defended very well. I want to quickly have a shout out for Cunha as well. I think he was basically what I remember saying after the game is we sat deep, we sat defensive, and then we had Cunha. It was kind of we're giving the ball to Cunha, just say, look, can you just carry the ball 10 yards somewhere? Can you just hold someone off and try and release the pressure on us a little bit rather than just booting him back? Because every time he went to Xerxes, my God, he came back. It was annoying me. Cunha, love him. Ugarte, credit to him. But I have to finish on this note, right? It feels like... How many times have I said this? I don't know. I'll tell you what we did take advantage of, finally. United actually going 5th, might only be temporarily because other teams are playing, but United got the job done. And that table there is just... The second half of this season has the possibility to be distinctly different from what the first half was. Now that we've introduced this idea of adaptability and some changes, and we can chop and 4 at the back sometimes, 5 at the back sometimes, don't know. If we can get through these games coming up, we've got Wolves next, which we should be winning. Leeds away, which will not be easy, but then Burnley, I believe, at home. And then the players come back from AFCON into a team and a system which now maybe sometimes we will play 4 at the back. Maybe sometimes we will play with wingers. Maybe sometimes we will play with 3 in the middle. And sometimes we will play with 5 at the back. That adaptability caught Newcastle off guard and the defence turned up and did the job. Now, if United can take that sort of the positives from that, take that into the second half of this season, I'm telling you, Champions League football is a distinct possibility. We can do it because of what this league is this season. And to see us making these changes and Ruben Amorim making these changes, I think that adds a string to our bow that we've needed. And hopefully more results will follow as a consequence.